Oh my God, it's that time of the every 2 weeks that you
Time
guys
of the
all look forward to.
time of the every 2 weeks. It's been a while because we
It's
recorded before Adepticon.
Yep.
So really, it's been like 3 weeks since we've recorded one of these.
Yeah, no, it's been a good second. Um, you know what? I'm just gonna come out swinging. I got a topic I want to bring up real quick.
Okay.
I have fucking choice words with Crunchyroll right now.
Go on. I'm not privy to any drama involving Crunchyroll right now.
So no, not so much drama with the company, but mainly with their merch store. So you're not gonna be able to see this because I still haven't set it up to where you can see me. But I bought this vinyl record today of Cyberpunk Edge Runners because I love
Ooh,
Cyberpunk
hot.
Edge Runners.
Yep.
So good. And then I look after buying it. None of the songs that you want are on this vinyl record. It
So,
doesn't.
Like, the song isn't on there.
No, the song isn't on there. Like I really want to stay at your house. Not on here. The Rap Boy opening song, not on here. The song that plays when Maine, spoilers, dies, not on here.
Not for 2 years. It's not really a spoiler anymore.
I don't know. Some people are like, I'll get around to it.
Oh, I can't wait. We're gonna talk a lot about Cyberpunk.
But yeah, no, it literally. So the stuff that's on it, like I can't be mad because a lot of the songs on here are by Akira Yamaoka, the sound designer for Silent Hill, which he had a big part to play in Cyberpunk Edge Runners apparently. But it's got the Fire by Franz Ferdinand,
Okay.
opening credits, Modern Anthill, Sudden Skirmish, Like a Boy, Cloudy Day, whatever. See, I'm not seeing Really Want to Stay at Your House.
That's like the song.
They could have put that on here 12 times and just made a vinyl record of that one song and I still would have bought it.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't, to be totally honest with you.
I'm sure it has something to do with licensing. Because
I'm sure you're right, because why else wouldn't it be on there?
Right, and like, you know, that song and the other songs I was talking about come strictly from the game, and maybe there's like an overlap of licensing.
Well, even that, you'd think that maybe there'd be something.
Yeah, but no, Crunchyroll, you count your and no, hold up, I do have another one. So I bought a second vinyl from Crunchyroll. I don't have that one with me, so I can't show you. But I bought the Attack on Titan Season 2 vinyl soundtrack. Guess what song's not on there, Jesty?
Is it, it's the opening?
You got it! Sasageo is not on there.
That's a crime. How are you gonna have an anime, record and not have the intro
right
in there? It'd be like if they released a Mashal one and didn't have the bing bong bong bing
bing
bong
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 bing bong bong bong.
You know,
what a good opening for such a bad anime.
What a good opening for such a, I'm not even gonna say bad, for a mediocre anime.
No, it's not bad. It has its appeal, but no, I kind of agree with you. It's middle. It's mid.
If you've never watched One Punch Man, you'll enjoy it. But if you've watched One Punch Man, you're like, this is just less fun, Saitama. That's...
Oh, it's Saitama if he was boring.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so that's a little bit about what I've dealt with today. So we'll just kind of go into each other's weeks. I feel like now's a good time. I've kind of already broken the ice a little bit.
Yeah. Your anger.
I had to sit through an evacuation today.
You sure did.
So a bit of behind the scenes for Plague here. My job is requiring a lot, and one of the things I needed to go and get my fingerprints for a reason I won't go into. So I went to the place in our city where I can go and get my fingerprints taken. And as soon as it's my turn, everyone, you got to get out of here. There's a gas leak. And I think there's an electrical fire. Oh, what a good way to start a Thursday. This is at like 9 in the morning.
So I don't work in, I mentioned this before, my location and Plague's location are different. However, I've become kind of that location's resident IT guy.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I'm there, Plague is not there.
Every single time.
So what ends up happening is I walk into his office and I'm like, what's this? Something here? And I just throw it on the floor in his office.
I was telling my wife today that I don't even think you do any IT work at You were hired just to come into my office and throw shit around.
Yep.
No, of
I
course.
did.
You do a
I did
great
it
job.
I did it at the part-time job too.
Yeah, you did.
I just walked in. I was like, huh.
There was one day at our old job where I walked into my office and there were 8 hand carts in my office.
I did not have a hand in the hand cart incident. I
Oh,
heard
you did
about
not
it,
hand the carts, huh?
but I was not part of the hand cart incident. But that's really funny.
I could have sworn it was you because I was like, the
Nope.
only person that would do this is Jesty.
I think Grizzly probably did it.
I think it could have been Grizzly. Yeah, honestly, you raise a really good point there. But yeah, and so I had to sit through an evacuation today. My last 3 weeks, I did start my new job, as you guys have heard, in the last episode, which I'm getting there. It's coming out. Don't even worry about it. It's really good. It's really special. You guys are gonna love it. It's been hectic. But yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of stuff with that, so time's been kind of weird. But I am completely done with all of the training and setup that this job required of me. That's a lot. So, a little bit of backstory. CDL, pilot's license, and something else that I'm not going to say because I can really narrow it down. But 3 big tests from a guy that really didn't do well in school. Like, look at me.
Yeah.
But got it done. So, very proud of that.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, big dog. Oh, thank you, big dog.
I'm proud of you. So that's what you've been working on the last 3 weeks. We haven't really even been able to play games together or anything.
No, it really sucks. I miss playing games with the home dog, with the home skillet.
But, in news, I put in my 2 weeks at the part-time job.
Specifically because of the fact that I'm not there.
No. Definitely has nothing to do with my wife and kid and seeing them. That being said, you might see Jesse on some Plague streams again.
Let's go.
If Plague ever streams.
Hey, shut the fuck up. Don't. Why are you zooming in? No. No, he raises a really good point. I've been trying to adjust to the new job. Like, I went from working a night shift to working. I have to be up at 5:30. I have to be up at 5:30.
Yeah.
So it's been taking a lot to get used to, and plus I have an hour drive there and an hour drive back. That's 2 hours that I normally had. No more excuses. I'll stream.
How are you adjusting to the drive?
The drive actually doesn't bother me so much anymore. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said it's a good way to dissociate between work and home, and I feel like that's really nice. I wish it was little less long. Yeah, like if it was 30 minutes. Yeah, exactly. That'd be perfect. But I was really mad at the drive on day 2. Then day 3 happened, and I was like, you know what? It's okay.
The mornings are rough because we drive into the sun and it just stabs your eyes.
Yeah, literally.
This morning,
global warming's got to be fucking real because my eyes tingle after my drive because of how bright it is.
Eyes are getting a suntan.
They are, I swear. I'm more pink than usual because I've been outside driving more.
True.
It's very true. But yeah, no. That's been a little bit about that. Let me see. I didn't have it pulled up. See, I snipped it and then I didn't even have it pulled up. Can you believe it?
What were you snipping?
I snipped the podcast layout because I have a memory of a goldfish. So I couldn't remember everything we needed to talk about, even though there's so much. Like, did you know, Jesty, that I have opened up a can of worms?
Have you?
I have. Have you ever heard of this little niche game? Pretty sure you probably haven't heard of it. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, we've talked about this. And here's the thing. Plague, you were like, I've been collecting Yu-Gi-Oh again. Not playing it. When it comes to card games, Plague is very much a collector. I'm very much a player.
Yep, that's literally. He's got it.
But he's been collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards again. Tell me why in my TCG player cart I have an entire deck of Toon Exodia built for
Just for a rainy day when you need it?
Because I was like, oh, Blake's playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Now we've both done it. We're
Now
still out
now
of
we both
practice.
see it's been 3 weeks. We're not used to it, you know?
Um, but I'm like, oh, Plague's getting into Yu-Gi-Oh. Maybe I should buy a deck and then we can play before D&D and stuff. I'm like, no, falling into this trap.
Oh,
That's not gonna happen.
you're falling into the trap, aren't you?
I think I am.
Listen, they got to be putting fucking crack in those packs, man.
Oh, when you open a Yu-Gi-Oh card pack, it's just,
Oh, you're just gonna go. Oh,
that
fuck! It's so good.
that Konami glue.
That Konami cum. Let's just call it what it is.
Ooh.
There's
It
something
just,
about
like,
it.
It gives my brain just like the perfect scratch.
It
It's
really
like,
does.
oh.
Like, I'm very mad at Konami's video game department, but their card game department's kind of got it on lock. I'm not gonna lie.
Here's my biggest issue with Yu-Gi-Oh is it uses a non-standard card size.
Yeah, the cards are a lot smaller, and I have big hands.
So like if you're like needing to read a card, you gotta get your magnifying glass here. You're gonna be like, ugh.
Yeah, we're getting up there in age. I'm like almost 40 now.
Yeah, basically dead.
I can't. Fuck you. No, the text is actually kind of small. No, okay,
Very
so
small.
I will preface this. I will play Yu-Gi-Oh with you, as long as if we limit it to the stuff that you and me both probably played.
Oh, see, mine's all like Toontown stuff
Yeah.
and.
Wait, did you just say Toontown, the hit MMORPG?
The hit MMORPG Toontown?
Oh man, I love Toontown. What was the name of the bad guys in that?
I don't even remember.
Shit, it's been so long. Rest in peace
But I
to a
just remember
real
they're
one.
basically adults. That's what I remember.
Yeah, fuck those adults. Fuck them. Don't listen to me. I just said I was almost 40.
What else have you been working on? What have you been working on personally? Like you talked about work.
Yep. Brought up the little Yu-Gi-Oh thing.
You've been working on Yu-Gi-Oh. You've been buying cards for that.
I've been doing something I don't normally do when it comes to gaming. I'll bring this up. So now with my reduced time due to the new job, and it's not. I'm loving the job. I don't want it to make it sound like a bad thing. I love the job. 10-11 hour days at this job feel like they go by faster than 8-hour shifts at my old job.
Yeah.
Including the drive. I love this job. But due to the fact that there is less time and there's just so many good games out there and so many things I want to play, I have been hopping from game to game to game where I'll get off of work, I'll play one game of League, one game of Tekken, one game of Street Fighter, one game of the finals, and then if anyone hops on, I'll play with them.
Yeah.
But I've had to drop 2 games. And when I say drop, I don't drop games. I put them in like the ice box for when I have more time because I love finishing games. But I've had to drop Like a Dragon because of the time. I've had to drop Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I play that in my time. I'm not streaming that. That's me and we'll just sit on the couch and she'll watch me play. But yeah, no, I've been game hopping.
Your wife's name on the podcast.
Fuck. That's kind of like me and Ghosty's thing, where I'll sit on the couch and she'll watch me play. So
yeah, and you guys were playing it when we had D&D.
Yep. The pre D&D time, I will literally spend every second I have before D&D getting time in on things that I need to play or do.
Yep.
So there's plenty of times where everyone.
Coming Saturday, we're gonna watch Godzilla Kong.
That's
so
true.
We'll talk about that on the next pod.
We're finally gonna talk about Godzilla. I fucking love Godzilla.
Blake and I love dumb Monster Mash movies.
We do.
It's just good dumb fun.
It turns my brain primal. I go, ooh, big lizard. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ooh,
fuck yeah.
Big monkey.
Big monkey.
Ooh, 2 big monkeys.
Oh,
two big lizards.
It's a level of testosterone to where my brain function just plummets, but I feel strong.
In the best ways, like the new Roadhouse movie.
You were telling me about that movie. Isn't what's the guy? The guy that made
Conor
Proper
McGregor?
12. Conor McGregor, yeah.
Yeah,
The
he's
guy
the
that
villain.
made Proper 12. Well, how is that the way I know him?
So I don't know.
But yeah,
but
he's
anyways,
the bad guy.
He plays this bad guy, and he plays it so over the top. The acting is so bad, it's good. It's if you turn off your brain, you watch this for like, this is a dumb guy we're probably watching this in a garage, drinking a couple beers movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's phenomenal.
Oh, that's a
But
good
if you're
time
like,
to watch
oh, I
movies.
want a deep story movie, don't watch the new Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
Um,
Roadhouse never really did have a deep story to begin with. It kind of
No.
was like a dude bro movie.
yeah, and this one is, and it's so good because of that fact.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I am trying to think of the last like D movie I actually watched. I did pull up. Didn't I pull up a movie with you guys when you were over one night?
Yeah. Oh, what was it?
It was a movie that I really liked that no one else was
Yeah.
digging.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
That's probably because you didn't care for it that much.
I just tuned it out of my brain.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
But you know, have you done any hobbying
No,
aside from your brief gaming spurts?
no. I have this. It's literally right next to me. I'm gonna pull it out real quick because it's been staring me in the eyes. But for Christmas, my wife got me this Epion model kit that I just want to build so bad. I love Epion. I'm a slut for Epion. But I just no. I gotta be gaming. I gotta be editing. I gotta be streaming.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been 3D printing. I feel like a different person. This. Oh my god! I almost threw up all over myself. I'm sorry. That'd be good content though.
No, it wouldn't.
I haven't been 3D
no, I
printing
get that.
at all.
I get that. It's your body's adjusting, your mind's adjusting to the new job, so it's like,
Mm-hmm. It's not like it's never coming back.
I've had like a hobby renaissance. That's why I'm gonna start streaming again probably next week.
Can you believe it? The Jesty Fish stream, the Twitch channel live.
I have over 70 miniatures I bought at Adepticon, so I need to get them painted.
Hell yeah.
I want to work on a display board for one of the games I bought, or a play board for one of the games I bought. I don't want to get too much into that.
We got a whole section about it.
It's true. It's our main topic for the day. It's a jesty episode.
It's a jesty episode. We love a good jesty episode over here.
But I think it's time. I have this renewed, since going to Adepticon, I have this renewed, like, I want to do my hobbies again. I'm redoing the layout or the background for my stream. So it'll probably also be my background for the podcast. So I ordered some boxes to store away some of the projects that got put on the background, but don't really belong there. Because they're not painted, etc. I only want my shelves to be painted minis.
I get
I
it.
have 3 shelves here, and they're just
some
not painted, some painted. So I ordered some boxes so I can store them away in the closet behind me, and then we're gonna start streaming again, and I'm excited to do it. I put it aside when I got married, and then life just
kept rolling. Had a kid. Met your best friend.
True.
It happens.
2 D&D campaigns, 3 D&D campaigns now.
Yeah.
A lot has happened. But what I have been working on is I've actually been replaying through the Halo Infinite campaign.
Whoa. Okay.
Just because by the time I get online, Plague is usually in bed.
It's true.
Our schedule's just kind of like right. So I've been replaying through the Halo Infinite campaign, and maybe you guys can tell me, like, what's the hate with the Halo Infinite campaign? Because I'm playing through it again, and I'm like, I really, really like this.
Now, I'm nowhere near as big of a Halo gamer as you, but if I remember, the hate wasn't necessarily towards the campaign. I thought it was towards the multiplayer.
Yeah, it was towards the multiplayer and microtransactions, and the reason I stopped playing it was because there was like, it came out for like a year and a half, and there wasn't a new map or anything.
No, they didn't add anything.
So I was like, only monetary things were added, and I was like, I don't want to do this.
I miss the days of Halo 3 where you had to unlock outfits and like new armor pieces. Those were the days.
Yeah. You know, if you load into a lobby and someone had the Hayabusa armor, you're like,
oh yeah. You could tell that they were.
Like I said, I've been replaying that. I built all the
well,
most of all the miniatures, but 2 boxes.
Okay.
All the miniatures
you know what?
I bought. all the miniatures I bought, I have built. But all the miniatures got in a swag bag. Some of those aren't built.
I gotta say, that's honestly really impressive because it actually has not been that long since you've been back from
No.
Adepticon. And getting all that
And
built, that's
most
impressive.
of them are actually primed also.
Oh my god. You're on a roll.
I'm on a roll. There's one game that I got in the swag bag that I built a model for, and there's like 45 models in the box.
Well, I mean, hey, it gives you something to do.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it more in the it's a game I don't know if I'm actually gonna play, but we'll probably give it a couple once overs.
We'll give it a shot. I'm always down for new board games. You've definitely opened my mind up to a lot of new fun board games.
That's what I try to do.
Speaking of things that have been reinvigorated, mainly because of the fact that it's been a hot second, we actually had a D&D session.
We did, and it was really good.
You liked it.
It was so good.
We haven't talked about it at all because we've been saving
yeah.
it for this. So it was my campaign, by the way. It was session 2 of my campaign.
And so we finally got to explore our characters a little bit. Before the session, it was actually, let's call it session 1.
Okay.
Because the first session was actually session 0. We made our characters,
got
introduced to why we're all together, why the world exists, yada, yada, yada. It's
got introduced to the bad guy.
It's in Plague's wife's world. It's happening around the same time as her campaign.
Yep.
So, like, our stuff matters, kind of?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming they're having conversations behind closed doors about how the world was changing because of things we're doing, and how the world's changing because of things we're doing in the other campaign. And it's kind of neat. And we finally got to explore our characters a little bit. And since it's Plague's campaign, I wanted him to talk about, like, from a DM perspective, what he thought went well, what went poorly.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. So again, this is my second time running a full-fledged second session running a full-fledged campaign. And I've let my players know well in advance my idea for the campaign, so that way they could kind of get in that mindset as well. It's kind of a creature fight of the week sort of campaign where I'm going to be thrusting them into a situation, and I want to see how their characters deal with solving or not solving the situation at hand. For example, we'll just kind of go into a little bit of the story of what happened this session. I threw them into a situation where they needed to go and get a couple of body parts.
Yep.
And the only body parts were from oh god, it's been so long. I can't. Was it? Were it troll?
It was eyes. It was ogre eyes.
It was ogre eyes. Yep, ogre. I was going to say ogre tongue.
But we needed 2 ogre eyes.
We needed 2 ogre eyes, and the only ogres that they were teleported to, one of them only had 1 eye, and it also had
an adult.
It was an adult.
Adult 1 eye.
It was a mother with 1 eye, and her 2 kids, both with both eyes. So if you're picking up what I'm putting down here, I put them in a weird situation where, are we gonna have to fucking kill children? And no, I think that, without going into too much story, because I want to hear it from you, how you felt the session went as well, and what you were thinking throughout each of the moments at hand. I think compared to my session 0, this session went flawlessly in my eyes. You guys did exactly what I wanted you to do, which was fight amongst each other.
Yep.
You guys,
we do definitely have some inter-party conflict now, and actually, like, not even from my character and Ghosty's character who actually have a conflict.
Yep. A decision was made this session that made a lot of people's, pardon the pun, eyes open up.
Yep.
And that's what I wanted. Because, okay, so this answer for the problem makes sense to this character, but that's the exact opposite of what this other character wants.
Yep.
And that exact scenario happened this session.
No,
I'm very proud of session 1. It let you guys know exactly what I expect out of you guys, what I'm going to be throwing your way, and how I want you guys to tell the story. What happens?
Yeah, so we killed the mother, obviously, and my character actually made the perception check to realize there's a boulder that has been, like, scraped along the wall to, like, cover something up.
Yep.
So I had our Rakshasa barbarian, grizzly, push the stone away, and there were the two ogre children. Um, being like this is an area that my wizard's familiar with. Like I recognized it pretty early. This also was an area that the cleric recognized, and the cleric and I, Ghosty, which is Plague's wife, our characters just have a conflict. I'm like a high elf. I'm a noble. I'm very like prim and prosh and kind of an arrogant asshole. And she's like a cleric to the god of death.
Yeah.
But she's also a drow. So we just don't get along.
Constant bickering, and I love it.
And they actually agreed on something during this session. They were talking about we killed the mother, so there's these two very young ogre children, and both the cleric and myself were like, I don't want to kill kids.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, this is the only time things eat ogres is when they're this size, and it's going to be much more horrible if we don't.
You could give them a painless death.
Yep.
Compared to what would happen to them via nature.
And the cleric was like, I'll make this very quick, very painful. She's like, I say a prayer to my god. The bard casts minor illusion, so like it's very peaceful for them.
And so that way they could see flowers is what it was. So because it was a girl and a boy, and the boy was the older brother, and the younger sister was just bawling for her mother. And so our bard basically made flowers for her.
Yeah, and then when the cleric like said her prayer, and then she went to like quickly like execute the boy, all of a sudden it turned into this horrible flesh monstrosity, which actually happened to be a kind of like a homebrew monster, a corpse mimic.
Mm-hmm.
Because it had gotten into the cave, or they had died. The son had died earlier due to a wound from something else.
Mm-hmm.
And in the night, it had happened. It had taken over the corpse. So this thing turned into a corpse, and the girl had no idea. But she was just screaming because now where her brother was this horrible flesh monster.
Yep.
And as it transformed, it caved in the cave, separating the two parts. So the bard and the cleric are on one side, and the rest of us were on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
So the barbarian and the paladin started pulling boulders away, and my character's like, let me just shatter on the wall of stone. And it didn't work. It blew away some of the stones, but other than that, it didn't work.
I want you to know, hold up, I want you to know the only reason why it didn't work is because
you were like, uh-oh.
I was like, oh, right, he's got shatter. Well, I want some tension here. I want to see how the cleric and the bard deal with this.
I figured it out as much because but it's very cool. We finally got to like use our character's abilities and stuff. I casted a cloud of daggers, but fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool.
Oh, it was really cool.
For those who don't know, like College of Scribes Wizard, you can change your damage types as long as you have a spell of a different element at the same spell level. So like at level 2, you can cast Cloud of Daggers, but you also have Chromatic Sphere, which can be any of the damage types.
So hey, you have all damage types now.
So at level 2 spells just have all of them.
Yep.
And then starting at like level 6, I can make every long rest I can make a scroll of a level 1 or 2 spell, but it's upcast to the next level.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's actually super cool.
Super cool. I can also copy down spells that I see. It takes me 2 minutes to do each spell per spell level. So,
in the middle of a fight, if you see a cool spell, is it worth giving up a couple of turns?
No, it's definitely not. Because to copy a level 1 spell, it's gonna take
10 rounds of combat,
10 turns.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's gonna take 20 turns because it takes 2 minutes per level. But if we're like before a long rest, I can go like, hey, you should cast this spell. They cast it, and I go, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. I'm I really, really like the Order of Scribes wizard.
I'm really
Very cool.
proud. I really feel like you're very proud of this wizard. I think he's a
Yeah.
really, really interesting character.
Yeah, like he's very like prim, proper. His like so he's like a magical protege because he's able to change um the types of his spells that he can cast. But his brother is actually like a legendary wizard. His dad is a dean of a wizard college. So he's very much like Silver Spoon,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to the Drow, who's very much like I brought myself up.
I
This
had
is
to
all
take
me.
what I wanted,
Yeah,
and you were
and
given
and
it.
that causes more conflict. But no, we had a moment of like agreement. The fight's over. We think we kill the mimic, and then the barbarian just flattens
Daughter.
the daughter.
Yep.
And this sends the bard into like a mental break. Like
Both in
the character.
person and
Yeah,
character, I would say.
yeah. He was fine with it. And then they role played it out, and it was very, very good because we got to see like what Hobbs, which is our bard, we got to see how Hobbs would react to something like that, which is something that could happen often.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that that it just flattened her is the barbarian we have, is playing Path of the Giants. So when he rages, he gets one size bigger.
Yep.
And he had killed we had killed that ogre who had a club or had a great club, but it was for a large monster.
Mm-hmm.
So every time a weapon goes up in size, it gains an extra damage die. That's like a home rule / kind of official rule.
Yeah.
It's kind of baked into like monster stat blocks. Um, but so when he's big, he just has this, was it 2d8 great club,
You got it.
and he just, and it caused some conflict with party members that are previously good with each other.
Yeah. People that were like alliance, and I wouldn't throw around the word alliance. I throw that around loosely. But
Yeah.
like they got along, their characters kind of bounced well off of each other. Haha, funny moment here, funny moment there.
Yep.
All of a sudden, when something serious like that happened, flipped. And it was so awesome to watch.
And so like the bard, he is even admitting, he's like, our games aren't like role play heavy, but he did so well. Like you could tell that, like it bothered his character.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to like my character, like it bothered him, but he was like, look, if it wasn't him, one of us was gonna have to do it.
And if it wasn't one of you guys, nature would have taken them.
Yeah. I was like, it was the most merciful thing. My character was trying to reassure Hobbs because, like I said, it bothered him, but not to a point where he like was breaking down because he realized the writing was on the wall. So he like reassured Hobbs. He's like, this is something that was gonna happen eventually. She didn't feel it.
Right.
In her last moments of remembrance, she saw the flowers you made for her, and as we're leaving the cave and he's carrying the body of her to bury her outside.
Oh, here we go.
Like a basket.
Mm-hmm.
Because as it turns out, the reason that the one ogre only had one eye is because earlier they had saved this village that's a little ways away, from dire wolves, and they had brought this basket with like wine and bread and cheese and I read the note and I was like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And then we buried her, and then the like guide that's like the big bad's like little henchman, and he's like a horrible looking monster. He's like he's like 3 people merged into one. He's got 3 heads, and every time he pops up, my character's just
Oh, fuck, you're ugly.
Ooh. Don't touch me.
Mm-hmm.
My wizard also has a homebrew cantrip that just blows the dust off his clothes.
Done. Just because he's so prim and proper, he wants to be clean all the time.
Yep.
No, so I want to go into a little bit of detail about the basket and what that situation entails. because a lot of people when I came up with the basket idea, I didn't know how it was gonna go, because a lot of people could take that as, fuck, we could have done something else. We could have gotten help from the village. We could have like the fuck. No, I never brought up the village beforehand. I never brought it up. There was no way for them to know about it because they were just teleported into that spot and just happened to find, like, they climbed up the mountain. They saw a hole because something fell, which caused them to look up the mountain, and they saw the cave.
Yep. And my character like knows like the area, but I had no idea where exactly we were.
Right. You're in the middle of the mountains. You could be anywhere. What to me, and I was hoping you picked up on this too, but what the basket represents is you're going to have to kill good people.
Yep.
There's going to be things where you may think you're doing something right, you're in the wrong. That's what Tallis wants. Tallis wants you
to the big bad evil guy that we currently work for.
Yep.
Against our will.
He wants to throw you into any sort of depraved situation like that.
It's like a reverse Suicide Squad kinda.
Mm-hmm. Instead of being good, you're forced to be bad.
Yep.
And you guys, all of you killed it. Like it was such a fun session. It wasn't too drawn out. The combat felt really good. There was a lot of scares there. Mm-hmm. The role play was excellent. And I again, no notes. You guys did fantastic.
Yeah, it was a really good session. Really good. And for like a Monster Mash anime, for a Monster Mash type D&D game, that's something that's kind of rare, because usually it's like, okay, here we are, we're fighting this. Cool, we're done. That session. Mm-hmm. Because that session probably could have ended 30 minutes sooner.
Yep.
In reality, but seeing that side of that player that's playing the bard was phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Especially because it's not something that they're used to. That's like self-admitted that they're not used to role playing.
Yeah.
I was really impressed.
Yeah, no, there were situations. There were situations from each one of the characters involved. Like our paladin had a really good moment as well during the fight, where he got to be a paladin, and obviously you trying to be the mediator. Like, hey, I know I'm a pompous asshole. Listen to me for a second.
Yeah, we
got to do this. And like, Ghosty's character, all dark, edgy, all about death. Fuck everyone else. I'm in it for myself. Basically being like, hey, I don't want to kill kids. Let me handle this. I can talk to my God, and I'll give him a quick death. Yeah. And our barbarian being a barbarian, and all of us dealing with that.
Well, not only being a barbarian, but being a Rakshasa barbarian. So he's inherently just evil. On paper, he's technically the only evil member of the party.
It's true.
I guess Ghosty's character probably falls more under evil than good, but Ghosty's character probably falls under more of a lawful evil, where the Rakshasa is more of a neutral evil.
Just evil because evil.
Just evil.
And the one thing that warms this Rakshasa's heart is a little stone golem. Other than that, he's pure evil.
So I don't know if we talked about it on the pod or not. I can't remember, but we've talked about this. How DMs often will have their NPC.
We did.
Mine is the ancient gold dragon who polymorphs as a human and tries to sell human stuff.
Yep.
And the party usually figures out like there's something not right with this guy.
He's talking so weird.
Leave him alone or fight him, and they're like, dispel magic. He's just an ancient gold dragon who's just been hanging out with people. But Plagues is this little golem guy.
Yep.
Named Boomba. He only ever does 1 damage. He's just got a little stick. He thinks he's an adventurer.
Yep. He's just an innocent little character. A little bit of a spoiler. I've talked to Ghosty about this as well, and I'm fine with bringing it up. We're going to see Boomba again this next session. We're going
Okay.
to we're gonna take a bit of a break from that and see what Boomba's up to.
So last time we had saw Boomba, we had sent him off to go get other rock golems, like big friends, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got big friends." And they fucked off to go find his big friends. I have a feeling that instead of ankle high, we're gonna get some knee high rock golems. We're gonna be like, ah.
I want to tell you this because I want you to be the first to know. I don't think I told Chris and all of this, but you're going to meet some other golems. Do you want to know their names?
Is it Boomba, Bamba,
Oh,
Bimba,
Bimbo.
Bimba? Oh,
Oh, close. So you have Boomba, his brother Choomba, his sister Doomba, and of course, who could forget Reginald?
perfect.
Yep.
Perfect.
So that's all I want to tell you about it. Because I'm really
I'm proud
excited.
of you for not naming the last one Kumba.
I made sure to make it Choomba and not Koomba because I really wanted to do Koomba. I also really wanted to name my car Koomba. No,
I know you did.
yeah, just
No,
Kuma.
not the bear.
Not the bear and not the One Piece character. I'm doing the fucking sketch thing. You can't see it. Let's go. What's up, brother? Sketch has made a mark on streaming history.
Yep.
He's
Sure has.
infected all of us.
He's infected us.
But yeah, no, I'm not inherent. So again, I'm still new to DMing and making up my own stories and everything. And I feel like I'm treating this as watching a series. You can't watch one heartfelt sad episode into another heartfelt sad episode. You got to have a bit of filler in there, kind of break the pacing up a bit.
I agree.
And it'll be a really good feeling like session where maybe at the end you'll find out what you have to do next and it's like, oh shit, the next session's gonna be crazy. But this session's it's a feel good session. We get to see Boomba. I get to do a bunch of rock puns. It's gonna be great.
Are we doing that again this Saturday?
This Saturday is
This is Ghosties. Ghosties. I get to play Torv.
you get to play Big Man Torv. Oh yeah,
I'm playing
babe.
two very different characters.
Yeah, you are.
Torv's just big dumb himbo paladin. I'm in the front. I'm just boo.
Yeah,
then,
blocking damage due to Dea's help.
And then there's
Adamar.
Adamar, who's just like, don't fucking touch me.
Don't touch me with your dirty peasant hands.
Yuck.
Ew! Brother,
It's really
ew!
Because like the rest of the party needs to sleep, but not the cleric and the wizard, who do not get along. So the entire time we're just sitting there
Just staring at each other, just mumbling, I fucking hate you. Oh, you smell like beans. But no, I'm glad you had a good time. I refrained from bringing it up or talking to you about it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see how you felt here. And I'm glad you liked it.
No, it was a great time. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited for the next session. I'm excited for this party. Our artificer from Ghostie's campaign is going to be joining us.
Yep.
In this campaign, so I'll bring our total up to 6.
Yes.
6 players. And that's what Ghostie's campaign is also, right? 6
Yep. So it'll be about the same, just 2 different players, or 2 players are different in each game.
Yep.
And no, like both sides of things, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm very excited for what I have in store for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But knowing some of the stuff that Ghostie's talked about, and obviously we're a lot further into her campaign than mine.
Yep.
I love our characters. I love our story. I love the dynamics.
Too. It's one of those things like I love the character dynamic. I've also like thought about like Torv's last words, his last wishes, and all that. Not that I hope it happens, but as a frontline tank who constantly flings himself into danger and into battle, things go south.
Something could happen.
But it's. I just lost my train of thought. So yeah, something very well could happen, and it's part of his oath. It's like I need to protect the people I care about.
Yep.
So like he needs to do that, and that's how he feels. He does that is if I stand in the front and everyone gets behind me, everyone gets to go home.
Whether or not Torv goes home, Torv's
Yeah,
not thinking about.
exactly.
It's a
And you
very
know,
interesting character.
And Adamar's very selfish. He's very much like, that sounds like a you problem, or
Mm-hmm.
like I'll cast a little heal on like the cleric because I'm like I'd rather they punch you than me, you know.
Yeah.
And the cleric's like playing this like I get to decide when you meet my god, so it, her character is also very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like her character a lot.
I can't wait to see what Cure evolves into. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
Kira is very cool. I'm excited to see the relationship of the party develop and change as campaign goes on. Because like I said, we thought we had a group that like really got along, and then last session happened, and now they're like kind of at ends with each other.
Yeah, like half
Well,
the party is.
the rogue is very much at ends with the barbarian. The barbarian is like, that's war, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's because like to him, he's like that doesn't mean nothing, anything.
No, there was a specific moment that happened with the barbarian that really cemented the dynamic of these characters. So,
Mhm.
big club goes down, smashes the young sister or the young daughter. Everyone's freaking out. Hobbs or Bard is crying. You're like, oh fuck, okay, well it's done, I guess. You know, the paladin's just like, oh, and then of course the Rakshasa who did the finishing blow was like, oh fuck, did you see how cool I looked? Man, she
Yeah.
just fucking out of here. That was so cool, huh, guys? It was so interesting to see that play out because the party's like split 3 and 3. 3 people that were like, yeah, it makes sense that he did that. And 3 that are, or well, 2 that are like, oh, fuck that. No, that
Yeah.
sucks. You shouldn't have done that.
Yep.
So it's interesting seeing it kind of be split
Mhm.
that way.
Mhm. It's very interesting, and it's very. I'm very excited to see how that party grows because it's also a very different party dynamic than Ghosty's campaign, where the party in Ghosty's campaign, they are all friends.
Yep.
They just are all friends. Um, but in your campaign, they're not, because in Ghosty's campaign, we all chose to be together, but in your campaign, we're forced to be together, and we have very different ideals and etc.
You're picking up a lot of the reason why I decided to do my campaign this way.
Yeah, it's very cool. I like it a lot because normally it's like the you'll meet in a tavern for a mysterious job or
Mm-hmm.
but this is like no, you're doing this. And actually, our party was 6 people originally,
Yep.
but that 6th person got killed right away. That's how the campaign started.
Yep. She
Um,
tried to
she
mouth
was an
off.
NPC, but she still would have been a member of the party. Tried to mouth off, and they just
Yep. Like 20 minutes in. Like
yep.
just to let it was a way for me to let my players know,
What
oh
kind of guy
fuck,
this
this
guy
guy
is?
means business.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
and then he made a comment that really stuck with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into it in detail here.
No, absolutely
So,
not.
absolutely not. It is bad. It's very
It
bad.
is bad.
It's bad.
Um,
But yeah, no. I'm excited for what I have cooking up for you guys. I already have the next 2 sessions kind of planned out. And obviously, I'm very, very excited for my wife's campaign where I get to be a player. Get to be good old gunslinger Dea. Oh,
Dea.
good old Torv's bodyguard Dea.
yeah, because the only reason Torb doesn't get hit is because Dea's shooting at the bad guys.
It's true. I'm
Not
making
because
them.
he's built to not get hit.
No, nope. It's because I am taking their attention away from you.
God. But speaking of exciting things, last week I got back from Adepticon.
Woo woo.
It was a good trip, good food, a lot of time with friends. Next year we're gonna bring Plague out.
Hell yeah.
You know, he can maybe take some painting classes, or maybe we'll convince him to play in the team tournament.
Yeah, no, I'm down for literally. I love conventions. I found out
Oh,
specifically because I love spending money.
it's fantastic. Like there's a whole hall just of vendors with those weird oddball games we're gonna talk into. I bought some of these weird oddball games.
Hell yeah.
Um, it's even if you don't play in anything, like you can go take classes. There's like you can go look through Golden Demon, which I should have sent you a picture of it, Plague. But the piece that one Golden Demon, I've never audibly gasped at a miniature before. That miniature like took my breath away. It was
What?
so good.
I think you did send me a picture of it. Is it the one where like it's the reflection without the
Yeah.
body
Yep. Yep.
parts?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, that was sick.
It. So for those of you that haven't seen it, it's this vampire and he's standing like it looks like he's standing like at a riverside, but then underneath it's like sandwiched together, and there's a miniature on top, miniature on bottom, and it's like painted like a reflection, but the bottom miniature like doesn't have its hands or its head because it's a vampire, so it doesn't show its reflection. Um, but it's painted in such a way that it tricks your mind to think that there's like a layer of water there.
Yeah, even from the
It
picture, I got to see that.
it it was mind blowing.
It's
And
it's impressive what people can do.
there's some drama involving that, because he 3D printed where the model is standing. Um, I don't see the issue with that. It's not. It's still painted incredibly. The painting didn't take away, or the 3D print didn't take away from the painting.
Mm-hmm.
The one I do kind of have an issue with is in the Warhammer 40k single miniature. This guy had a background on his miniature, and the miniature's painted incredibly well, but the background was AI generated, and then he painted over it.
Oh,
You know, uh, uh,
that's a tough one. You
it's
know,
really tough. It's one of those things like I think the miniature wins without the background anyways.
you didn't need to add the background.
You didn't need to add the background. It's one of those things. It's one of those nice to have things on a miniature for that caliber of event, but it's not a need to have. So
I kind of want to go into this a bit with you because we've talked briefly on the subject, but AI as a whole has kind of become such a touchy topic with a lot of people.
Yeah.
How do you feel about AI?
I think AI has its place. I think my issue comes when you claim it as your own,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not. What I like to do is um, I like to put like my D&D characters. I'll like paint their like shoulders up in Hero Forge or whatever, and then I'll slap that through an AI renderer.
Yeah.
Like, smooths it out and makes it look presentable, and then I'll send that to your wife, and she'll draw that character.
Yep. Yeah.
But it gives her a great reference point.
Yeah, my wife is definitely the type of person where she she would rather die than use AI art because the act of drawing is her favorite part of
Yeah.
art.
And she's drawn Torv a ton.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I feel like I'm in the same boat as you, where it's like, if you're claiming it as your own, yeah, that's kind of a shitty thing to do. I'm not a
Yeah.
big fan of that. I think AI can be helpful outside of art. I
think
like
so too.
I like, using AI to help word a story in a way that you can't word yourself.
Yeah.
Using AI to be like, hey, I'm trying to think of a way, asking AI for like, hey, what are some of the top 10 things that people do to like try to save money? AI is going to scour the internet for you and come up with the 10 best options for you. That's a good use for AI. That saves a lot of time. Convenience and time makes sense.
Yep.
Using it for art, okay, I'm a little bit biased. I can always, always, always tell when something's done with AI art because all
Yeah.
AI art looks the same depending on what you're trying
hands.
to. It's the hands, it's the brush strokes. Like if you type in AI anime art, it all looks the same.
Yep.
It looks good, but I can tell that's AI.
Yeah. But like I said,
It's still not
what
perfect.
I do is I just push my 3D render into it to make it 2D, and then it gives Ghosty something to reference, so she draws characters. She likes drawing the characters in the campaign, so it just gives her a good jumping off point.
Right. And no, I think AI does have its uses. And like, you know, something like that makes the most sense because I used to be artistically inclined. Now I'm just autistically inclined. Sorry, but tis. Um, I used to do a lot of art. Now I can't be bothered. And, you know, maybe using AI to kind of get my idea out onto paper so I can go to someone like my wife and be like, hey, here's an idea that I threw in an AI generator. This is pretty close to what I want. This gives you a good starting point. Can you like take this, add this hat, use these like this color, something, something, something. That's perfect for me because it gets my idea as close as I can get it. And then someone like my wife can finish it, and it's great.
Yeah. So there's a bit of drama involving that piece at Golden Demon because the background's AI generated. Again, I think it wins that division without the background, so I'm less upset about it. I think it's just a case of people are upset that their pieces didn't win because that piece had used a tool that took away from the authenticity of the piece.
He painted over it, you were saying, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's my understanding of it.
And he did it like in his own style and just kind of used it as like a stencil.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that's a gray area, but I can see that. Like if he just printed a picture and set it up as the background, I'd be like, okay, fuck you. Like that's okay. You could have done anything. You could have done, like you said, you could have done nothing.
Yeah. From my understanding is he painted over it after it was AI generated.
Yeah. That's similar to what I would do.
Yeah. So I'm kind of torn on it. I'm like, you know, it's not really in the spirit of the event. Where like everything is, you have these guys that do incredible freehanding. There's a piece that won silver in the diorama, which is what won. So Golden Demon. Let me break Golden Demon down. There's a bunch of categories. Each category has a first, second, and third place: gold, silver, bronze. And that's why it's called the Golden Demon, because the statue's like this golden demon with his arms crossed.
Nice.
Very cool. I'm thinking next year Adepticon, I maybe take a run at it.
Hell yeah, do it.
I just kind of want to see where I stand. There's other paint competitions at Adepticon, and I'll talk about them in a minute. And then at the end, all the gold winners go into another competition called the Slayer Sword, where it's this big ass sword called the Slayer of Kings, which is from a character that's from Warhammer Fantasy. But you win an actual sword if you have the best piece.
Yo, that's the best prize.
The second place in diorama could have been a Slayer Sword winner itself.
Ooh.
It was also just amazing. Had a bunch of like light source painting, and it was incredible. But it's man, that it's a sticky wicket, the AI background. Right?
Yeah. I get it.
At what point do you when do you say no?
Yeah. I feel like if you own up to it being AI, you're covered. But if you try to play it off as your own, then you're in deep water.
And maybe that's why there's so much drama circulating around this piece. It's like a space elf riding like a dinosaur.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a really cool piece. After the pod, I'll send a picture of it.
Okay.
But other painting competitions that are at Adepticon is like Resin Beast, which you can win Resin Beast, but also you can get. It's not like there's a first, second, third. It's you qualify for these tiers, and then there's an overall winner.
Okay.
So I might try my hand at that. It's not using Games Workshop miniatures, so it's not Warhammer minis. It's like Conquest, Creature Caster, and 2 other companies. It's their minis. I might try my hand at that. I want to kind of see, and they'll actually give you pointers on like what you could have done better, what was lacking in the piece, what other people that painted the same piece, what have they done with it. So I might try my hand at that. I haven't decided yet, but it's one of those things like really start working on that. Because it's not uncommon for like these pieces to take 300, 400 hours.
Yeah. That's one thing that a lot of people underestimate with art. Like, that picture that you saw took that artist 300 hours.
Yeah.
That super photorealistic drawing of Fetty Wap, 600 hours. Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I walked through the vendor hall. I played a lot of games. I played a game called Creature Caster makes it. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's basically a board game MOBA.
You have me. Hello?
I almost bought it, but I decided not. Just because it was just one of those things I just didn't have enough room to carry all my stuff back. But I might pick it up later. And that was fun. A couple guys here in Sioux Falls picked it up, so maybe I'll drag Plague to the game store to play it.
Okay.
Because there is a 5v5 mode.
I'm in.
And it's using Creature Caster minis. Creature Caster makes incredible resin minis. But I went through that, played that. I played Necro Molds, which if my son was a little bit older, I would have bought it on the spot. Basically, every game starts, you have all your spell books. They're just like Play-Doh molds.
Nice.
And it has like the stats and everything on the spell book. You make your monsters and you set them up on the game board. And then you play a war game with these little Play-Doh monsters. They have like a clay that doesn't dry out, but still soft like Play-Doh. And you move your minis, you move your Play-Doh minis, but if your mini destroys another mini, you have like a ring that has like a stamper on it, and you flatten their creature with it.
That's so cool.
And like I said, if Wally was a little older, I would own it. I would have bought it right there.
Oh, that reminds me of something. It reminds me of like that like secret laboratory playset where you can make like gummy worms and gummy spiders and stuff and like squish. Yeah, like super cool.
Yeah, like I said, if my son was a little older, immediate buy.
Yep.
That's
what so you're talking about all these games. Did you pick any up?
I did. We're gonna get there.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
I got a bunch of them right here.
I'm just making sure.
I'm just talking about the games that I played but didn't pick up.
Oh, okay. See, I thought you were talking about just
the Halo game. I played that.
How was it?
It's very interesting. It's not played like a typical like miniature war game. It's played like Halo multiplayer.
Interesting.
So there's like item pickups on the map, and it's on a grid system, which I didn't expect. And they said they were talking. They're like, yeah, we have to go talk. There used to be a Halo miniatures game years ago, but it's been supported by the community, and they've been holding it up. The company that's making the Halo game had a meeting session with everyone that registered in that event, because they may or may not be working on a firefight version of the game.
Ooh,
which is like a big scale war game. But I want to call that out because it's really nice for a community or a company that's making a game to go, you guys have held this game up for so long. What do you want to see?
That is really
nice. What can we do to make you enjoy our game? I didn't pre-order it. I should have, because if the pre-order bonus was a cool Master Chief mini with an energy sword.
Nice.
It's really cool.
John Halo himself?
John Halo himself. You know, of all the TV shows, that's one of them. It's really bad.
Yeah, fair enough. You know what? Fair enough. I've heard bad things. I don't think Master Chief should have a face, but the actor who plays Master Chief definitely disagrees.
Yep. Trying to think. I didn't really play any other games. Nothing really spoke fancy. Not that I didn't buy. But I played in 2 tournaments. I played in the Age of Sigmar Championship and the Age of Sigmar Teams. And I didn't do as good as previous years. My list was almost the same as a guy that played the same army as me. We just had 2 models that were different. He brought the Goblin King, which is one of the best models in the game currently. But we're getting a new edition. And I'll talk about that later. And then I brought an Orc Wizard. I went 2-3. He went 5-0. So
he played the better group.
Well,
I guess.
and so this guy only plays that army.
So he's like super familiar.
He just knows.
Yep.
And I played against some games. There was only one game that I was completely out of. Um, First game was really close. Second game, I unfortunately beat the tar out of some player.
Oh, that never feels
It was
good.
it was the bottom of turn one, and he had like 3 models on the board. So
Oh, buddy.
yeah, and then my third round was the only one that I felt completely out of because he just went. I choose a point and I do a bunch of damage you can't negate. And just killed all my characters. So I was like, ugh,
Ooh.
rough.
Hey, that happens though.
Yep. And then day two, played a game. I lost my first game on day two and then won my final game of the tournament. And then the team tournament went very poorly. We all played Skaven, which is all the rat people.
Let's
Which
go.
the new edition is going to be based on. They are the big bad of the new edition coming up. We did very poorly. We went so I only won one game. And how teams works is you're a team of 4, and then you pair up, play 2,000-point games. Um, Me and one of the other guys won one game, and that's it. So we effectively went 1-9.
Oh man.
2 local teams played in the tournament, and we ended up playing each other on day 2 of the first game. And at that point, we were all just burnt out.
Yeah, because this was a 4-day event, right?
4-day event. Yep. I played 10 games of Age of Sigmar, and every year I do it, and every year I'm like, I'm not doing that next year.
And then you do it next year.
And I do it next year. And I won. Me and another guy won one game, so like I said, we went 1-9 on the team tournament, and a lot of us were just real discouraged. It doesn't help that we did a display board, and we got penalized because we didn't take. They didn't think we made sacrifices to our list to tell a story, which I don't know how they can tell that when they didn't talk to us
Oh, interesting.
about our board story. Our list was 57% Clan Rat, which is arguably the worst unit in the game. So I tried to preach that case. I'm like, we have mostly Clan Rats, and they went, Clan Rats are great. I'm like, they're not. I don't. So what I have learned from doing a display board this year, and this isn't taking. These guys had amazing display boards. But we brought all Skaven. We went with a theme, etc., etc., etc. And all these other guys just brought armies that they just had, and they got full points for it. What I have learned is that the armies on parade, the display board grading and stuff for teams, is just kind of a local guy dick riding contest.
Gotcha.
It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun making the board, but we didn't understand the rubric enough, and only local guys won any awards for their boards.
Well,
Again, their boards were incredible. All the credit to those guys, but there were a lot of incredible boards
that didn't get anything.
that didn't get anything.
That's a bad feeling.
And I was like, oh, and it doesn't help that we are 8 hours away from where Adepticon's hosted. So our board can't be massive and 8 feet tall or whatever that one board was.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of that one. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was taller than I was by like a lot. And I'm like, don't. It felt really bad because I was like, we put a lot of time and effort into this to make our board fit on a 2x2, which should have qualified us for traditional. But a board that was like 4 foot by 3 foot by, actually ended up winning. And like I said, it was a great board, but it's not a traditional board because it's bigger than a 2x2 footprint.
Yeah,
we fit 200 and some models on a 2x2 footprint.
I can see where that sucks.
Yeah.
That hurts. You just feel kind of worthless after that because it's like no matter what you would have done, you wouldn't have won.
So we did get picked for the Armies on Parade, which was an event afterwards. where we got to display our board and people walked through and looked at the boards.
Oh, nice.
Got graded by someone I look up to in the hobby community, Miniac. He said our board looks like a Skaven board. So I went, fantastic. That's what we were going for. we didn't win that event. The big 8-foot tall crazy board ended up winning that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's all about what can drag the eye, and if you make something that big and extreme, it's gonna have a lot of people looking at it.
Yep. Our board looked impressive because it had 200 some models on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my salty take on it is like when it came to giving out awards for best, display board, it really felt like if you weren't a local guy, don't even show up.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And if they make it that obvious, because like you were saying, basically everyone that was local won something.
Well, the two local board, the 2-3 local groups won their respective divisions.
Okay.
And I was like,
what's the point
okay.
then? Yeah.
I don't.
If you're gonna be biased, at least hide it a little bit better.
Yeah, it just felt meh.
Yeah.
So next year, I don't know if a display board's gonna happen.
That's fair.
It was a fun experience, but I don't think I'll do it again.
No, that's fair, and it's not against it's not against the other teams. I can already tell you haven't talked down about any of the teams or any of the boards, but yeah, and if you already know that there's no point in putting forth that much time and effort, because you were working on that board for a while, just for it to go to a local guy.
It's realistically like. I could have done a little more texturing on my board. The top board could have been done a little better, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Looking back on it, it's we're kind of a victim of our own trying to share the work. Our different visions of how the board should work and yada yada yada. But no, I still had a good time. I learned a lot, which is going to help me because 4th edition of Age of Sigmar got announced.
Ooh.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. And it was fun. I had a good time, ate a lot of good food, ate some pizza, ate at Kuma's Corner, like the bear.
Not like Chumba's decrepit brother.
Yeah. I had some Chicago pizza, had some Chicago hot dogs. I still think Raising Cane's is kind of ass.
Agreed.
It's just not as good as Slim Chickens.
Here, listen. I think the two most overhyped fast food chains are Raising Cane's and In-N-Out. And I've had both now.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are less impressive than their counterparts. Five Guys and Slim's does it way better.
Yep. But on to happier news. I bought a lot of stuff.
Let's go. I love buying stuff.
These are the minis I bought.
Ooh, hold up. Let me pull you up. Ooh.
There's a lot of minis on this. This is all like Don't Look Back stuff I bought. This is a big old Wendigo. I bought a Geralt mini.
Oh, hell yeah.
Let me put my camera back up so I can see what I'm doing here. I bought this Geralt mini that I'm going to paint on stream. This is a faction for a game called Freeblades. They're all bird ninjas.
Oh, that's so cool.
So that's really cool. This big mech is for a game called Blackout.
Love it.
Local guys bought into. And then these are all for the Cyberpunk game.
Oh.
I also bought into a game called Demonship. The game is played on a board this big.
That's super cool. I'm not gonna lie. It even says on there a micro game.
Yep, it's a 1-player game, which is really sad, but it's very good. I played a demo of it, and I'm like, I really like this. So I have the minis. I'm gonna paint them up probably on stream because that's when I'm gonna start painting.
Let's go.
And I said I bought Blackout. I bought the equivalent of the Russians. They have like futuristic-y AK-47s. It's like the Russians, like South Africans, and it's like that equivalent. And then the UN.
Hell yeah.
I bought the Russians. A bunch of other guys bought into it. We have like a good representation of all the factions in the community. We're very excited to play. But that's something we bought into. I haven't played it yet. The rules seem pretty good. It's basically Titanfall, the game. So that's kind of cool. I mentioned Don't Look Back, and we've talked about Don't Look Back before. This is the
I'm
rulebook.
so excited.
This is the rulebook for Don't Look Back. So we have it now. And
Love the
for it.
love the Friday the 13th reference there.
Yeah. But I bought basically the 2 starter expansions you need. This is like for building your own killer. This is for all the cool survivors. And like inside each of these, it's also like a VHS case.
What a good way to package a game.
That's how they're like expansions with rules come. There's expansions that are just models. But this is like expansions that have rules in it. And like I open it up, and Plague's gonna love this. I open it up, and this is the first card in there.
Oh, let's fucking go!
So like it has like different types of killers. And then you can randomly generate like skills for them. Like this one's 1 step ahead. Place this killer 6 inches away from the most characters. In the case of a tie, the players may choose, and then when this killer moves, it will move toward the target closest character. In the case of a tie, the players may choose. This game is also played like with like a rudimentary AI.
Hell yeah.
So the killer kind of acts on his own, but there's some times that you need to make some choices for the killer.
No, I think that's a good way of running that, honestly, because you can actually still be surprised.
Yep. And then there's like the cards for the different characters. I bought just the base characters, so each one has some stuff. This guy is in a wheelchair.
Oh, I love Wheelchair Man.
But his item is like Northwood's mushroom supply.
Okay.
So for killers are never considered in his line of sight for the purpose of when nobody is looking, which is a rule that the killers have. When he uses a luck token, you roll a d10 and a roll of an 8+, the character gains +1 luck. So it's very cool.
Heck yeah.
And then he's got backpack supply. When anytime this character succeeds with search, before drawing a card, he can choose the bag of snacks or an energy drink card instead of drawing a card.
Me too, bud. Me too.
And they each have like different stats and stuff. It's very cool. But I love the packaging on this of this game. All the packaging this company does is awesome. There's a astronaut like skirmish game where you're like astronauts on space, and all the expansions come in like astronaut food baggies.
Oh, whoever's on their marketing team needs to get a fucking
It's so
raise.
good. But also, I didn't talk about this. This company acknowledges who packages boxes by giving you each of their employees that packages things has a trading card.
Oh, that's so cute.
So whoever packaged it slips their trading card in there. I have a lot of Talon. Talon packed a lot of my stuff.
Good job,
So
Talon.
If you're watching this, you packed a lot of my stuff. Thank you. Did a good job. I wasn't missing any parts. I thought I was my Wendigo model. But as it turns out, I'm just an idiot and was putting it together wrong. Yeah, I bought.
Oh, there it is.
Cyberpunk Combat Zone. I played a demo of it. It's really simple, plays fast. It was a lot of fun. I bought a lot of factions I bought 3 factions, and the box comes with 2. It comes
Lots
with
of choices.
It comes with the Tiger Claws and
The Arasaka?
not Arasaka. No, it doesn't come with Arasaka. It comes with some other dudes, but this very much looks like an Arasaka group, but it's not. They're basically mercenaries. And then I bought the Bozos. I bought the Danger Gals, which is like cat girls.
Meow.
and I bought Generation Red, which is like kids that are like proteges. I'm gonna be killing kids, but the gameplay is very fast. The rules are very, very simple to grasp. I think Plague and I are going to be playing probably a lot of it.
Sounds good to me. I'm down.
So while I was at that booth, they were talking about their new game coming out, the Edge Runners game, which is compatible with this game, which is the only reason I bought this game.
Fuck yeah.
But when you pre-ordered it, you got a miniature called The Moment. And if you watch Edge Runners, The Moment is when Rebecca gets turned into a pancake. So now I have this model of Atom Smasher turning Becca into a pancake.
No more running for me, dog. Rebecca's a pancake.
This is fucked up. This is it's a very good miniature. But this is so fucked up.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Jesty. I would buy like a 10-inch model, like a 10-inch statue of that moment.
Of this?
I feel like that would be one of the perfect things to upscale.
Yeah. It blew my mind when I saw it. I was like, no fucking way.
Well, you gotta have it.
Which, even like, so I don't have it glued together yet. But even like this, like pose for Becca, is a good pose.
It is a good pose for Becca.
Now Adam Smasher on the other hand. Look at
Oh, he's got a little dumpy, huh?
So for pre-ordering the Edge Runners game, you got The Moment, which has our Soccer Corp guys and the Edge Runners. So I'm very excited about that. And then in the box, I got the premium package, which means I got a swag bag. And this year was super worth it. I got basically a starter box for Orcs, which I already play and have a lot of. But it had some models in there I didn't have and needed. But it also came with this big game.
Big game.
There's 21 different tanks in here. They're just little tiny guys. They're little.
Look at that.
Little beep, beep, beep.
So cute.
Also in my swag bag, I got models for a game called Star Wars Shatterpoint.
Okay.
And I got Plo Koon, who is my favorite Jedi. And
Who?
I got Plo Koon.
Okay, so I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I genuinely don't know who that is.
So you're familiar with Episode 3, correct?
Yeah, the best one.
Yeah. You know when they're like flying the ships and there's like that, like he's like brown, he's got like wrinkly face, and he's in the ship and he gets shot down.
Yeah.
That's Plo Koon.
Oh, he dies?
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Well. Yes.
Oh.
He's dead. He is dead. It's but I got Plo Koon, so I was really excited about that. And then I found there's a guy there who's open 24/7, and he just has bits. He's the bits guy. He also has like used minis and stuff. And I bought this old shitty War Boss on boar.
Oh my god.
He weighs a ton. The details on him aren't well defined. He was missing a shield, so I fixed that with a shield from my own bits box. But I bought him for $20, which I was really happy about. And then I also found this guy who is of the same era as that guy. He's also all metal, and he was missing a head, but I had enough bits to give him a little head.
Look at
So
that.
I have 2 generals for when I start playing Warhammer Fantasy, which is different than Warhammer Age of Sigmar. So I'm excited about that. What did I buy? A lot of stuff, I felt. But I haven't talked about a lot of stuff. I bought a lot of stuff for the same game.
Yeah.
And then in my swag bag, I got a couple minis for a game called Marvel Crisis Protocol.
You were telling me about that one.
Yeah, because I think it's one of those games I should just buy some models for and learn to play the game. Because everyone knows Marvel. It's a good gateway to get people into playing miniatures games. So I'm gonna put these together, and if I like them, maybe I'll pick up some more. But this is Nightcrawler and Bishop.
Like 2 of the best X-Men.
Yeah.
Ooh, you make me so mad. Oh, I fucking forgot.
About. I like Nightcrawler.
Magneto is cool. You're wrong.
Magneto's lame.
Listen, X-Men 97 came out, and I watched like the first episode with my wife. X-Men 97 is my childhood.
I
Magneto's so good.
Yeah, well, until they put him in a glass box. But yeah, Adepticon was great.
They should put you in a glass box, Grandma.
Put you in a box floating down the river.
Sorry.
So when we go to Adepticon, we usually leave on Wednesday night, so we can make the Warhammer 40,000 or the Warhammer preview.
Right.
And this year, they did it in a way where they basically made us watch an hour-long movie.
Oh.
Where it was just guys talking. There was maybe 15 minutes of reveals, the whole thing.
And an hour of talking.
Yep.
Oh boy.
They revealed the 4th edition of Age of Sigmar, where they're rewriting the rules entirely, and it's really funny because they announced that, and the whole room went, "No,
no, I just got used to these rules."
Well, no, Age of Sigmar is the most balanced it's ever been. It's incredibly balanced. And then today they announced that they're axing a bunch of miniatures from ranges. So everyone's like, "Oh no."
Jeez.
It's take a drink here. But that was like the big reveal, and there was a big trailer for it. It showed a lot of the new Skaven stuff, which Plague's going to become a Skaven player.
Absolutely.
So we're going to get him playing some games of Age of Sigmar. Get him talking to people that aren't just the 4 of us that hang out in Discord.
Fair enough. I'm pretty charismatic. I can get along with people.
I think I'll have a great time. And then they revealed a really cool model for Age of Sigmar, but she has any of you that watch the reveals and are Warhammer Age of Sigmar fans, she has a spear. Did you know she has a spear?
Oh my god!
Guess what weapon she has, Plague? She has a spear.
Is it a spear?
Oh, one time she lost concentration and it gave her horns. Did I mention it was a spear? They brought up this chick's spear like 87 times.
Jesus Christ!
And like that it gave her horns. Like that was like they just kept saying the same thing over and over again when it came to this lady, which is an incredible mini.
Right.
But I hate it because they just kept going. Don't she has a spear? Oh, that's spear. Oh, she has a spear that gave her horns. Oh, the horns that came from the spear. Like.
And so are spears rare in Warhammer?
Nope.
Oh.
Nope.
I thought it was like a cool thing where it's like, hey.
No, she has a special spear.
Oh.
And they just I was like, why are we still here? And then they announced they're like, oh, we're gonna release some Age of Sigmar or Warhammer 40k stuff. A Chaos Lord and Terminator armor and a Chaos Lord jump pack. They're gonna come in these weird exclusive boxes.
Okay.
That are separate from each other. So one has like the jump pack guy and then some jump pack other guys and some cultists. The other one has the Terminator guy, some Terminators, and then some other duders. And they're like, but don't worry, if you buy both of them, you'll have a great start to a Chaos Marine army. And I'm like, there's no way they just said, buy both of these, you assholes. Like,
at the end of the day, they want to make money. I get it.
And I get that, but I was like, that's just a blatant slap in the face.
How much are these kits?
I bet those boxes will run about 160, 200.
Each or together?
Each. Nope. Each.
Oh! Oh, you're out of touch, aren't you? Oh.
Yep.
Hey, just spend $400 to have a good start.
To get 2 new minis. 2 new minis. The other minis all already exist.
Hey, Jesty.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I have a 3D printer.
I literally like laughed out loud when they like, but you buy both of them, I was like, there's no way. They just said, buy both of them. I just had shit in my head.
That makes me so like, you're out of touch, huh?
But no, the Age of Sigmar 4th edition trailer was really fun. I'll send it to you afterwards, Plague. If you haven't seen it, go on YouTube, watch it. It looks like it's really cool. It's like a League of Legends cinematic. It's so good.
Oh fuck, you got me again.
And I can't even tell you the other reveals. That's how long and drawn out it was.
Yeah, that's a shame.
It was like great, but Plague is that's what happened at Adepticon. It is about that time.
Holy shit. Man, that's what happens when we don't talk like this for 3 weeks.
I know.
We can just talk and talk and talk.
Like twice, 3 times a week.
I'd like to end us off on a bit of a more sentimental, serious note, if that's all right.
Go ahead.
It's more so a story. So at my new job, I went to lunch with my boss and one of my coworkers, and we went to A&W.
Okay.
I love A&W.
Yep.
I started crying in the A&W in front of my boss just a little bit, just teary-eyed a little bit, because I imagined me, the big fat American that loves root beer, bringing my son or daughter to an A&W and just like, hey, how is school? How is school, little plague, little plaguette? And they're like, wow, Dad, school was cool. I love this burger. And I got teary-eyed and I was like, man, I want to have a kid.
What's your go-to at A&W?
Oh, I get the double bacon cheeseburger. Cheese curds, gotta get the root beer.
Well, of course.
Oh, of course. Me and my wife talked about this. If you're going to A&W and you get a Pepsi, you get the fuck out. What are you doing? What's the name of the place? Hey, what's the name? What's that name up there? What does that say?
Get the fucking A&W.
Get the A&W root beer. But
I
I had a bit of a sentimental moment. I think I might be going through like menopause or something.
You think that's what it is?
It's got to be. I'm coming on to that age.
You an adult man.
Me, an adult man. No, but I'm getting a little sentimental. So, yeah, fuck. I just want to have that good old American. Hey, good job at the League of Legends tournament, Bobby. Now, eat your burger. I don't know why it got me. I've been going through a bit of personal stuff as of recently, and I'm pretty sure that's why. A bit of changes happened to my body, so if I look different, that's probably why. But yeah, no, I've been a little bit more emotional recently, and I think that's why. But yeah, I kind of want to end it off on a little bit of a sweet, funny note. It was like, hey, Plague cried in an A&W in front of his boss.
Got me crying in the club.
Got me crying in the A&W. This A&W root beer tastes so much better with my tears.
On that note, guys, take care. Drink water. Take care of yourselves.
Drink A&W as well if you want. Sponsor us, please, for the love of God. We need money.
I eat all your chicken strips.
Oh, I forgot how good A&W chicken strips were.
No, we're not ending because I want to end this on beef.
Oh, we got to end it on beef. You're right. You know what? We always end on beef.
I got beef with A&W.
Oh.
If I order a double mushroom burger.
Yeah, they should just kick you out.
No, shut the fuck up. This isn't about you.
You're right. Go ahead.
You had your A&W moment.
I had my A&W moment, my moment.
You brought it up, and now I gotta talk about it. And you give me 4 little thin slices of onion, or thin slices of mushroom, in a bed of onions. I'm fighting you. I'm fighting whoever's behind the counter.
Fuck. It's called a mushroom burger. Why are there so many onions?
Like, I expected, like, a little bit of onions, because obviously I could see that. Oh, there's some onions on that. That's fine. There were so many onions, it was inedible.
I fucking bet. I am an avid onion hater. If onions had one hater, it's me. So I get it, but some people like onions. That's a lot of onions.
It was so many onions.
Fucking hell.
But on that note, guys, back to what I was saying. Take care of yourself. Drink water.
We
Get
love you.
sleep.
Get some sleep.
We do.
I'm gonna
We'll
fucking
see you
pass
next
out.
time.
You're gonna watch this. My eyes have been halfway closed like for the last 45 minutes.
Just-
Not because of you, but oh my god. What's up, brother? What's up, brother? Wait, let's end it on a good note.
What's up, brother?
Have a good night, guys.
Night, guys.